Hey, good morning. Kayak Cliff here. We're at Lake Mineral Wells State Park, and that's about about an hour west of Fort Worth, Texas. And we're gonna do some kayaking here at Mineral Wells. They got a beautiful lake, not a real big lake, but a beautiful lake for kayaking. But this is a dual purpose camp out because we are also gonna do a 40-mile bike ride, because there's a rail trail. It's 20 miles each way, and we're gonna start in Mineral Wells, Texas, like further west of here, and we're gonna go 20 miles to Weatherford, Texas. And basically the trail passes right by the state park. So we're gonna do the rail trail today. We're gonna kayak tomorrow and later this afternoon, and bring you along on this adventure. Okay, we're gonna hit the trail here. Here we're down in Mineral Wells right now. And we're gonna follow the trail. There's the state park, so the trail goes by the state park. And then we're gonna go through Garner and then end in Weatherford. And I got Mike here, seen him in a bunch of other videos, but we're gonna take our Bromptons. We're gonna take our Bromptons and
our mini bikes,
and we're gonna hit this 40 miles of trail. Okay, we're on the trail now. Looks like you got a couple miles to get out of Mineral Wells, but before we know it, we'll be out in the country, and it'll be a beautiful, probably 18 miles of country trails. And this is an old rail trail, so the grade should stay real nice, but we'll see. Yeah, just coming out of Mineral Wells, there was a section of trail that had some pretty good sized gravel. Certainly nothing for these tires to go through, but as luck turned out, it was only about a block. So we just exited to the highway, the main thoroughfare, and then got back on about a block later, and this is what we're looking at. So just crushed granite, tightly packed. We're hoping this is the way it's going to be the rest of the ride. Oh yeah, they got a visitor center, Vietnam War Memorial Museum. Pretty cool. Out in Mineral Wells, Texas. About a third of the way across, you enter a little town called Garner, and that's the only town you're going to go through. Not much here. If you're wanting to stop at a convenience store and get water or something, you're not going to do it here. So make sure you bring as much water and snacks as you need.
It looks like you can go to the bathroom.
Yeah, there's a, they got a loo. Okay, now we're talking. We've had a good amount of sun. We're sweating like pigs. It's nice when you hit these heavily shaded areas.
Looks like we're gonna have it for another 100 feet.
Yeah, yeah. 100 more feet. Nope, there it is, the sun. It's all good. Made it to the Weatherford Trailway head here. So that's 20 miles here, and we're going to turn around and go 20 miles back to Mineral Wells again, and then kind of explore around the Mineral Wells downtown. There's nothing here in Weatherford. It's outside the city limits, but again, if you were going to do this, this is where I would start. If I was coming over here to do it just for the day, I would start here, end in Mineral Wells, you know, your first leg, grab lunch there, tour around all the shops and things, and then come back here to complete your 40 miles. And that's the way I'd do it. But since we were camping out at the state park, we're gonna, you know, we started this morning at Mineral Wells, so we're just doing it kind of backwards from what I would normally do. But this is it here. We're gonna hop on and head on back. Well, we're back. It's about 97 degrees outside, so in the summertime, be prepared. But great ride. We're gonna find a place to eat here, and we're gonna show you around downtown Mineral Wells. Boy, a visit to Mineral Wells isn't complete if you don't talk about the Baker Hotel. And what's the Baker Hotel? Well, Mineral Wells is known for mineral waters. As a matter of fact, there's a mineral water company called Crazy Water, which was founded in this town. They're popular throughout Texas. They have lots of mineral waters that athletes use. Well, back in the 1920s, they built this 450-room Baker Hotel in Mineral Wells. It had 450 rooms. It was built in the roaring 20s. It was active until the 60s. And then travel destinations changed for Americans, and they just didn't visit this anymore, and it went into disrepair. A lot of history here, and supposedly some haunted things in this hotel. They say on the 7th floor, there's a corner room that was an elaborate room that the mistress of the guy that ran the motel lived in that 7th floor, and she ended up plunging herself to death, I think, from the roof. But they say that her ghost runs through this hotel. So don't know if it's true or not, but right behind me here are the actual pools for the Mineral Wells. So there's construction going on here now. They're trying to bring this thing back. So it'll be real interesting to see if it comes back. Hell, it'll be a great wedding venue destination. I hope it works for them. So the general contractor is actually working on it now while I'm filming. Oh, it's amazing. Hey, we got back from the bike ride, and thermometer says 97, feels like 107. So it's hot. But you know, we were sweating at the campsite, loading up, getting the kayaks ready to come out here. And we dropped the kayaks in the water, and I got in the kayak, and the minute I got in here at water level and started paddling, I felt cooler. It's amazing, just wind coming off the water. I tell you, when summer comes and it's hot, it can never be too hot to get out and kayak. And if you do and you are warm, then do what I'm about to do, and that's hop in the water with a long sleeve shirt on, a life jacket, get wet, and then get back in the boat, and it's like having an air conditioner on. So it was a little sketchy where we launched, so in terms of swimming. So we're gonna find a place to go swim, but we're out on Lake Mineral Wells now at Mineral Wells State Park. Okay, the bottom's a little rocky, but I have a need for cool water. It is hot.
Hey, glasses on.
I said, I'm just gonna have to take my jacket and just swim the shoreline, kind of. The thing that's beautiful about this lake is it's 100% treed shoreline. There's no houses on it. Not a real big lake. It's in a valley, so there's high bluffs around it, lots of rocks. Real pretty place. And the water feels good. Okay, when the weather's good and it's hot, take your kayak out in the deep water and just practice some deep water boarding of your kayak, because if you tip over, you got to get back in, especially with a sit inside touring kayak. It's not real difficult, so I'm going to give it a whirl. You come up, get on the edge, sit here like this, keep your balance, and one foot in, and the next foot in, and that's how it's done. There's a lot of different ways to do it. You could come up off the side in the back like I did, or you could come up off the very end of the kayak and just shimmy yourself up, spin around, slide your legs in. But it's a good refreshing way to practice in case you need it in an emergency. Boy, I appreciate all the kind comments y'all leave in the comments section on Facebook or on YouTube for the videos. I get a lot of comments about how people just love following the adventures I do and getting out, exploring nature. You know, for me, it's kayaking and biking and hiking. And of course, I've always been a water person, so kayaking is probably one of my favorites, and well, biking is too. But you know, a lot of people love watching the videos and wish that they could find the time or that they could actually get out and do these things as well. And I just can't emphasize enough, it's so good for your well-being, mental well-being, stress reduction, things like that, to just get out and get on your bike, get in a kayak. It's cheap entertainment. You can do it anywhere you want, and it just does something for the soul. You know, my wish is that more and more Americans and, well, people all over the world would just take the time to get away from their stressful lives, from their computers, from the daily grind, and just experience the outdoors with whatever you like to do. The whole idea is just get out and get fit. And it's a fun way to get fit. You know, going to a gym is definitely one way, and I do that. But I got to get out and get the aerobic activity and just the exploring. Feel like a kid again when you get out and explore. I just got to get out and do that like this, you know, fairly often. You know, during this COVID pandemic, right now it's June, so we're still in it. But one of the things that's been happening lately that's really excited me is when I'm out on my bike rides, I'm seeing couples out on bikes. I'm seeing married people out on bikes. I'm seeing older people out on bikes, retired. I'm seeing kids out on bikes. Growing up in the 70s, I was on bikes all the time. That's just what you did. That was freedom. I'm starting to see that more with kids getting out and doing something different. So with this, you know, COVID, there's always good things that come out of bad things. One of the cool things is people rediscovering the outdoors, I think, because I'm seeing it. Bike stores, when I go to the bike store, they are sold out. Their business is like tripled. And it's just great to see. So I hope with all my heart that that continues after all this is over and people just still make time to get out and get fit, both physically and mentally. You know, so you're more prepared to live out the daily battles that you have in all aspects of your life. So that's just my humble words of wisdom. They don't mean much, but it's just how I feel, and I'm just really excited to see more and more people get out, and I hope that you do too. Well, this is pretty funky here. Something doesn't look right. We're higher than the road. Hey, this is the dam or the spillway at the end of the lake. And you can tell the lake is full to the brim. Instead of my cup overfloweth, my lake overfloweth almost. Pretty cool when those cars drove by. Hey, dinner tonight is, figure we'll show you how to make pizza when you're out camping. Now, you can't do this when you're out kayaking because you got to carry a Dutch oven with you. But
what's an extra 20 pounds?
It's an extra 20 pounds, but we're in the trucks, so we brought the Dutch oven. So we're going to show you how to bake a pizza out when you're camping in your Dutch oven. I like to get from the store, there's all types of pre-made crusts. Get some crusts, and you know, I put jalapenos and olives on it, and pizza sauce and cheese. And I heat the Dutch oven with my pocket rocket. So I'm going to show you how we do this. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I have my Dutch oven and I'm actually suspending my Dutch oven. I have some wire tied to the Dutch oven to suspend it so I can slide my pocket rocket in underneath. Because the pocket rocket's pretty light, so a 20-pound Dutch oven I don't think is going to be too good on Mr. Pocket Rocket. So it's basically suspended. I'm using the Pocket Rocket to heat up the Dutch oven. I've had it running for a little bit, so we're going to put the pizza in. Okay, we're going to open it up, see if it's all warm yet, and it is. But the thing, if you're going to cook a pizza in here, you don't want to put the pizza directly on the bottom because it'll burn it. So you want to get one of these Dutch oven racks that you elevate it off the ground with if you're using coals. I use it inside the Dutch oven, and that's going to suspend my pizza. All I do literally is just set that on there and cover it up, let it sit, and that'll cook away. So cooking them, it's about 10-15 minutes, just depending on the temperature that you get your Dutch oven to. But you just kind of look at it every 5 minutes, pull it out, and you're ready to eat. Before leaving on the second morning, we got up and had breakfast and then headed out to paddle up the river that feeds into and ultimately creates Lake Mineral Wells. One of the things I like to do on lakes is I like to find the river that feeds the lake, because, well, our lakes have dams, so all it is a dammed up river. But a lot of times if you just look at your satellite image on your smartphone app, on the map software, and look to see where the rivers are that feed it. And then move to satellite view and actually look at real footage from above to see if it is actually paddleable, whether it's deep water or whether it looks like deep water, and move towards those. Do the open bodies of water in the lake, but also it's a whole different type of paddle when you come back in these backwater areas. And some are good, some are bad, but they're always good to check out. The thing I really like about paddling these backwater rivers that feed the big lakes are it's just winding turns. It's almost always shady because there's trees around the on both sides of the creek, and when you come around a corner, you don't know what you're going to get. There might be a deer feeding, there might be an eagle sitting. It's interesting. You see, it's a whole different realm than what you get out in the open body of the lake. Hey, we're back. We're in the kayak shed. Everything's put away. Thanks for coming with me on this adventure. If you like my videos, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell for the notification when new videos come out. Also, when you're out, don't forget to take one bag with you, fill it up with trash, pick and paddle, throw it away, keep our environment nicer. And if you like that logo, it's on my website at kayakkliff.com. You can buy those stickers. I have them out there for $10. Share them with your friends. Get the message out. But again, thank you for coming. Safe paddling out there this summer. Just make sure you get out, explore, get out and get fit, enjoy nature, and just have fun. Kayak Cliff out. God bless.